This will be the only video that you need to watch on learning how to start an agency right now. But today, this is my no bullshit guide. This is everything you need, no fluff, in order for you to go out there and start making money with the agency business model. So let's get stuck straight into this. And first of all, let's define what an agency actually is. In fact, define what an SMMA is, which is the keyword that many of you guys will have found this video from. Okay, now SMMA is simply a term that was coined by a guy called Tai Lopez in the birth of the make money online craze, okay, probably about 7 years ago. In fact, this is what got me into this industry, and this is a keyword that still lives to this day. SMMA means social media marketing agency, okay, so it's a marketing agency that provides a service on social media, okay? That could be content, that could be paid ads. We'll dive into that in a moment. But all it really is an agency, okay? It's a service agency. It's person A, which is you, going to person B, which is a business owner or a customer, and we're providing a service to this individual in order to aid their life in some way, shape, or form, okay? We can aid their life by saving them time or making them money. Most agencies opt to making their clients money, okay? So let's just debunk some of these other keywords that you may have heard of already in this space. So we have SMMA, we have AAA, which is a new craze at the moment, AI agencies, we have AIAA, same thing. We have LGA, which is a lead generation agency. And then we also have, what do we got? IGPA, okay, info product. Is it IGPA? Yeah, info product, or IPGA, info product growth agency, okay? These are all just the same business model. The only difference between these companies, okay, they are all just service-based businesses. The only difference between them is the service that you offer and who you actually offer it to, okay? But fundamentally, all of these, including SMMA, are just service-based agencies. The only nuance is who you're actually working with and what you're actually offering to those individuals, okay? Cool. So it's important to understand that a service agency is not a brand new business model at all, like it is promoted online by a bunch of people. It's been around for hundreds of years, okay? The first were in like the 1800s. It's been here before us. It'll be here after us, because a service agency or service business is literally the simplest business, arguably, in the entire world. So it will far precede us. The only difference will be the way that we acquire clients and the kind of clients we're working with and the services that we're actually going to offer them, okay? And this is why it makes it such a beautiful business model for beginners, because there is such low barrier to entry. In many cases, you don't need any money at all to actually get started. I'm going to run through that today for you, how you can get started with no money at all. And all you need to do is understand and learn and gain knowledge on the industry. It's really the bridge between you not succeeding or being where you are right now and where you want to be in life, regardless of those goals, is your knowledge. And so we just need to learn some fundamental skills that I'm going to run through today, and then you're able to earn arguably whatever amount of money you want to earn with this business model. You can take it as far as you want to take it. And I have stretched it as far as I've wanted to stretch it. And you do get to a certain point, probably about 300K a month, where you probably don't want to stretch it any further and you want to move on to something else. It's a perfect entry-level business to get you started and open up opportunities for later on in life. So actually, that reminds me, just before we actually get into this, I would love to know the reason why you're actually doing this. Your life has brought you to this point of actually watching this video in the first place and getting started. I want to know why, okay? I want to know what has brought you to this point. What has brought you to the point of wanting to start an agency, and why do you want to start one? Drop a comment underneath this video, and what I'll do is I'll give away a coaching call with myself for 1 in every 100 people that comment down below. We'll randomly select it and then tag it in the comments below, okay? So let me know your why, guys. What has brought you to this point? Why do you want to start an agency? Okay? Because ultimately, that's the most important thing. Before we even get into the mechanics, I can teach you right now everything you need to do in order for you to go out there and start making money with this model. But before we get into that, if you don't have a strong enough why, if you don't have a strong enough reason, you are not going to be able to push through the resilience that you need, because this isn't going to be easy. This is going to be hard work. You are going to be having to put in the graft, probably beyond what you've put in at any point in your job or your career, because you're working for yourself and you have to give yourself that pressure, okay? And it's very easy to procrastinate. So we need a strong why, which is going to propel us forward, okay? A reason why we are getting started, whether that's generational wealth, whether that's retiring your parents, whether that's just sticking a middle finger up at everybody that's doubted you in your life. That reason needs to be strong, because that motivation will diminish that you feel right now, okay? Maybe in a week, maybe in 2 weeks, maybe in 2 months, okay? But eventually that motivation will diminish if your why is not strong enough. So consider that. Let me know down below. Okay, cool. So let's get into this. So what are the main components that we need in order to actually get started with building an agency? Well, first of all, we need to pick a service. Okay? And I'm going to build all this out for you guys, and then I'm going to give you access to this document as well. I'll let you know how you can get access to it. Of course, for free. Okay, you need to build a lead list. Okay, this is a list of companies, potential companies that you're going to reach out to, or potential clients. And then we need to outreach to them. We need to sign them up. Okay, and we need to deliver a service. We can work through these one by one. We'll start off with picking a service. Okay, first question that you're going to have if you want to actually start an agency is, which service am I going to offer, right? Like, what am I actually going to offer for my clients? Okay, what am I going to deliver? Like, I'm going to presume that most of you guys, like myself when I first started, most of you guys aren't going to have an existing skill set. You're not going to be able to deliver a service already. Some of you might be videographers, some of you might be photographers, some of you might be media buyers, so you already know how to run ads. That's great, that's your unfair advantage, okay, and we'll touch on those shortly. If you've got an unfair advantage, you absolutely should harness it, but most of you guys are going to be like me. You started off your business with a dream and limited knowledge, and that's why you're watching this video, to try and figure it all out, right? And so if you are one of those people and you don't know what service to offer yet, I'll point you in the right direction, okay? The best services, broadly speaking, or the easiest services to sign up clients with when you're first getting started, are direct ROI, direct return on investment services. Okay, so let me outline a few of those for you. So you probably heard of, if you've been in this space for a little while, you've probably heard of paid ads. Okay, this is the most popular service that people offer. But then we also have, let me just make this a little bit. There you go. Then we also have email marketing. There will be a few other that I missed today. I'm just going to do this off the top of my head. Then we also have organic socials. Okay, now when I first started, I actually offered organic socials and paid ads. That was my initial service offering. I wouldn't actually recommend organic socials unless you've got a really good skill set and you can create really good short form content or something for a high ticket niche, because broadly speaking, it doesn't pay very well. Okay, but out of these, if we're looking at direct ROI, you're not really sure on what avenue to go down, I would recommend paid ads. Paid ads is a low barrier to entry as far as your skill set is concerned, and actually being able to learn this skill set. I will put some videos in the description that you can go and watch of mine, and they will teach you how to launch your first Facebook ads. In fact, I literally just released a service delivery video a couple of weeks ago. You can go and watch that, and it will help you get started on delivering a service. But if you're unsure on where to begin, paid ads is the best place to begin. You don't have to be a slave to whatever service you offer in the early stages. You can offer one service and then branch out and offer different services down the line. And then you can be like, okay, cool, I don't want to be a paid ads agency anymore. I want to be a content agency. Okay, I've worked with many an agency that have done that. Okay, talking of content, what other services could we offer if we did want to go down that avenue? Okay, I'm going to keep your options open today. So some of these you might have a look at this and be like, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to offer that instead of paid ads. I don't resonate with it. So we've got photography, we've got videography. We also have UGC. Okay, UGC is user-generated content. These are kind of the TikTok-style videos, selfie-style. These work really well in the e-commerce space, but it's a content style which has really taken off on all platforms at the moment. Has been for the last year or so. Sales-based services, okay, so this could be appointment setting. Okay, this is the act of taking existing leads from a business and calling those leads up and actually booking them in. So you're basically increasing the conversions on existing leads within a business. We also have closing, okay, so this could be taking interested leads, so warm leads, and then closing, or to even taking specific booked calls. So if you've already got the sales experience, then this might be a good option for you, okay. Just bear in mind that there's quite a lot of competition within this niche, but I would say most people are pretty low quality and haven't really got any sales experience. Here's an age-old one, web development, okay, so that could literally be actually building websites itself, so you could do web builds, but it could also be CRO, which is conversion rate optimization, okay, which is essentially improving a landing page or a funnel or a website through the perspective of psychological sales. So you're making sure buttons in the right places, making sure the copy, which is the text on the website, is written in a way that entices the person to sell, making sure we've got reviews on the website. So we're increasing the conversion rate of the website. Okay, and then also, of course, SEO, which is another age-old service. What else? Have we got any others? There's some operational-based agencies. Okay, so it could be AI is a very popular agency at the moment. So AI/automation. Okay, so creating chatbots, for example, for clients is a popular AI service, and recruitment. Okay, this is an agency that's been around for a very long time. Okay, so any of these services will be suitable for your agency. But if you're just starting out and you really don't know how to get started, paid ads will be the lowest barrier to entry for you. There's no doubt about that. You'll be able to get the best results for your clients in the shortest amount of time, and you won't have too much friction in actually learning how to deliver that service. But the truth is, like with any of these services, regardless of what you pick, the best way to actually learn is by learning on the job, is to sign up your first client, okay? Because I can prepare you with the theory as much as you like, and you can get as much kind of pre-confidence in your ability to deliver a service as much as you like before you actually sign a client. But nothing really prepares you for the real world. It's kind of like your driving theory, right? We kind of go and we learn how to drive a car through theory. We learn about the road signs, we learn about speed limits, we learn about our tyre tread, okay? But most of us who have been driving now for years and years and years, we'd fail our driving theories if we had to resit that again, okay? Because the actual practical application of driving is very different to the theory, okay? And it's exactly the same when it comes to delivering a service, okay? Not until you actually work with a client will you truly understand how to get great return on investment. So you kind of just throw yourself in there and the rest will figure itself out. Trust the process and have a good support network around you, okay? So that's picking a service. So let's do that, and let's go on to building a lead list. So we've chosen a service, we know what we're actually going to offer for our clients. Now we're actually going to go ahead and build a lead list. So this is something that is called lead generation as well. Now the first question that you're probably going to have, and you might have heard this term being thrown around, is your niche, okay? Your niche is essentially just an industry, okay? It is the type of business that you want to work with. For example, gyms or dentists or chiropractors or home improvements businesses. These are business industries. These are niches, okay? And many people throw around that you have to niche down when you're first starting out, okay? You have to pick a niche, okay? And this simply is not true for beginners. You do not need to pick a niche in the early stages of your agency. Now, the ultimate goal is, as an agency, you want to be niched down, which means you only work with one specific niche, okay? That will put you in an advantageous position. That will mean that you can sell to clients a lot easier and you'll be more likely to get a client over the line. Like, think about it. If you approached a local personal trainer, okay, and you approach them and you're a generalized agency, you work with a home improvements business, you work with a gym, you run ads for whatever, you get the idea, you work with multiple businesses, and you're going up against a competitor which specializes, okay, on their website, says like, we help personal trainers scale their, or get more customers per month, whatever. Who do you think the personal trainer is going to want to go for? You as the generalist or the specialist who only works with personal trainers, okay? Well, their perception is going to be that the specialist is going to be able to get better results, and therefore you don't stand a chance when you're going up against them, okay? And this is why we want to niche down later down the line. But early on, okay, opportunity is not available in abundance, okay? Opportunity is very scarce in the early stages, okay? So what we want to do is go for all suitable niches, okay? We have this thing like, early on in business, opportunity is very, very scarce, okay? We are constantly spending most of our time trying to find opportunity. We desperately want to get out of our job. We desperately want to get out of uni. We desperately just want to make some first bit of money online. So we're looking for opportunity everywhere, okay? Now, when we make our first 10K, when we make 100K a month, when we make $1 million, there is so much opportunity out there that the challenge is actually reversed. It's actually saying no to that opportunity. But initially, we need to seek as much opportunity as possible. So why would we pigeonhole ourselves and keep ourselves in a box by just niching down and saying, I'm going to work with gyms? Well, you don't even know gyms are going to work for you. You don't even know if you're going to enjoy working with gyms, okay? So keep yourself to all suitable niches. And you'll notice I added the word local there. This is very, very important, okay? When you're first starting an agency, you don't have any leverage, okay? We're fighting an uphill battle. We don't have an in with the businesses that we're trying to work with. We can't leverage previous results. We can't get referrals from our clients. We haven't got case studies that we can use, okay? But if we're reaching out to local businesses, that is something, okay? Generally speaking, if you're in a Western society, and I can't speak for the rest of the world depending on where you're from, people value local. People enjoy buying local, okay? There is a trust attached to buying from somebody local. And therefore, if you reach out to local niches, we've got a little bit of leverage there that will make a difference in the early stages. Okay, so if you live in Birmingham in the UK, reach out to local Birmingham businesses to start off. Get your feet off the ground through those local relationships. Trust me, it's going to be a lot easier than reaching out to companies in London or in the United States. And it's the same goes is for whether or not you're, let's say you're based in India and you want to reach out to companies over in the UK or US. It is going to be at least 5 to 10 times harder for you to sign up international clients when you don't have any case studies yet than it is for you to sign up local clients, okay? And sure, you're not going to be able to sign them up for the same rate as you would signing up clients in the UK or the US, okay? But that just is what it is, okay? Unfortunately, it's just the short straw. You're going to have to reach out to smaller companies in your local area for less money to get those case studies, and then at that point you can leverage those case studies and sign up international clients, okay? But if you go international straight away, and there are stories of people that have done it successfully, it's gonna be an awful lot harder. So I recommend starting local. Okay, so where can we find these businesses, okay? So we've got Facebook. This is easy. We have Google, okay? So this is Google search. We also have Google Maps. Google Maps is an excellent place to search, like especially for local. Like it just brings up a list of all of the companies, and I will just run you through how you actually can get the information as well. Directories, okay, let's say you're reaching out to, let's say it's home improvements and it's landscapers, for example, okay, and by the way, don't get hung up on the niches that I'm going through or I mention in this video. Every single time I mention a niche on this channel, everyone goes crazy over that individual niche, okay? Just because I mention it doesn't mean it's the best niche out there, okay? I'm just throwing out a niche that springs to the top of my mind. Some of them might even be bad niches, okay? And you've got to figure this shit out yourself, okay? I can't do that for you, okay? Because if I did it for absolutely all of you and mention all of the best niches, then everyone would saturate all of those best niches, okay? It doesn't work that way. You have to reach out to all your local businesses in the local area, work with a number of different niches, and then when you're getting good results for a client, then you'll know. It'll feel right in the gut which industry you want to lean towards and niche down into, okay? Finally, we have software that will make your life easier as well. This isn't really a suitable option for those of you that obviously are starting with zero, as some of you are going to be. But if you've got a little bit of money to get you started, software really will help you out, okay? So something like Apollo.io or Snuv.io. You can also use Data Miner. Data Miner is a really great web scraper which you can use on Google search and Google Maps and directories, so you can scrape all different websites and even on Facebook for that matter. So that's called Data Miner. You can just scrape websites and it'll just collect all of the information, so you don't have to then go and manually collect that information yourself, because if you don't have any money, really your main option is going to be going onto websites, finding companies this way, and then manually taking their information and storing them on a Google Sheet. And I'd recommend all of you guys storing these leads on a Google Sheet. You have the name of the business, you're going to have their location, you're going to have what they do, so like their niche, their phone number, email address, whatever contact details you can find, and you're also going to want to get hold of the business owner's details, okay, so the decision maker. If you want to know what I recommend to be probably the most effective strategy for generating leads, like the best place for you to start, I would say Google Maps and then Data Miner as a scraper. An alternative to Data Miner as a scraper would be Phantom Buster, and that's another tool that you can use, okay? So I don't want to shout out too many softwares and confuse you guys, but for those of you that can't afford software, then just start off with Google Maps and just manually scrape. Okay, I connected those here because you will be using a variety of these. You'll be mixing and matching between them. It's very rare that you'll use just one lead generation strategy. If you do, then you're going to miss out on some leads, okay? Some leads will be listed on Google Maps, some won't, okay? Some you'll be able to find on Facebook, some won't. Some you'll be able to find on directories, some you won't, okay? So play around with this and figure out what is best for your local area, and just keep kind of rotating through each of these until you've got a solid lead list. Okay, so where we're going to find a decision maker, first of all, their website. Okay, so if you go on a company's website and then you just click their About page, you'll be shocked at how many local business owners have their details on their website. And it'll just be like, John founded John's Steakhouse in 1942. Okay, and then you've got John's name. You can then go over to Google. You can search John's name. You'll probably find his LinkedIn profile, or you might find a news article from him. Okay, but start off with the website. It's the easiest place. directory as well, okay, and by this I mean a company directory, okay, so in the UK we have something called Companies House. You can search company limited, company names, and it'll bring up the actual directors on the website. In the US, in all different states, there are company directories, regardless of where you are. Let's say you are in Belgium, type in Belgium company directory, and yeah, most countries have some kind of a directory where you can search for businesses. Okay, and then finally we have software, of course, so you can make your life easier if you want. Those softwares that I've already mentioned, like Apollo or Snov, will help you find business owners' details as well, okay? And again, you're going to want to use a mix of these. So when all is said and done, what I'd recommend you guys doing in initial stages is get yourself 500 qualified leads. This is a good place for you to start. Now, you can start reaching out to those leads before this point if you like. But it's not going to take you too long to get 500 qualified leads. Like realistically, it's going to take you, even if you've never done this before, it's going to take you inside of a week, okay, to get those 500 qualified leads. And that's doing it part-time. That's not doing it full-time. Doing it full-time, you get them in a couple of days. If you're using software, you can get them inside of a day easily. But get yourself 500 qualified leads. This is a good chance for you to practice on lead generation as well. This is something that is going to burden you for the lifetime of your agency. We're always going to have to generate leads in order to be able to reach out to them and acquire more clients. The best thing is, though, when you start making money, you won't have to do it yourself. Lead generation is one of the first things I recommend you outsourcing, be it to software or to someone else. Okay, now outsourcing is simply the act of paying someone. Outsourcing, I don't know where the word comes around. Outsourcing. Okay, we're sourcing a service out from somewhere else. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we're literally just paying someone else to do something that we don't want to do. Cool. You had the idea. Okay, outreach. Okay, we've got a lead list. What are we going to do? How are we going to reach out to these guys? So outreach or cold outreach is simply the act of reaching out to people in order to try and sell to them. Okay, so the first question you're going to have is what strategy? What strategy are we going to use in this case? There is really no one strategy that you're going to use. I recommend you using a multi-platform strategy. And this is, like it sounds, you reaching out to people on a variety of different platforms, okay? And the reason why I recommend you doing this, okay, and reaching out to people in a variety of different ways, is for the same reason that you wouldn't contact all of your friends in the same way. Let's say you're trying to reach 5 of your friends, you've got a party happening, you want to reach out to all of them and invite them, okay? Well, you're probably going to WhatsApp one, you might call another, you might send an SMS or an iMessage to another one, because you know everyone communicates in different ways. You know your mate John, if you called him up, he never picks up his phone, he's a nightmare, so why would you give him a call? It's exactly the same for business owners, right? Everybody reacts to different mediums in a different way. Some people respond to emails, some people respond to their DMs, some people prefer picking up the phone, and so if we just choose one of these platforms, we're missing out on a whole bunch of leads. And the key to successful sales outreach is squeezing a yes or a no out of every single lead, okay? Sometimes a no is as good as a yes, because that no enables us to actually stop following up with the business, okay? And one thing that I've learned from sales over the years, okay, and I used to be in corporate sales, I used to cold call 100 companies a day. It was dog eat dog, and I went door to door selling like 50 companies every single day. One of the biggest takeaways that I took from sales is you always have to keep your pipeline full at all times. Never put all of your eggs in one basket. I remember when I got one of my first ever big deals in one of the sales jobs that I had, and it was going to make me about $5,000 in commission. I was so happy. I stopped reaching out to other businesses. It was a nightmare. My boss was like, I'm warning you, like, keep your pipeline full. And they pulled out in the last minute. Okay. And so that month I then got no commission whatsoever. But if I kept my pipeline full, I would have had someone else to replace them with. I didn't, because I was an idiot. So don't you be one. Learn from my mistakes. Keep your pipeline full at absolutely all times. Okay. And we're going to do that by always generating enough leads and always making sure we're hitting people from multiple angles. Okay, cool. So we've got email, and we have the dreaded cold call. Okay, and most of you, or many of you guys, are going to be looking at this right now thinking, oh, cold calls, like, am I really going to have to do that? And the question that I would ask you is, how quickly do you want to grow? Because if you want to grow quickly, okay, if you want to really sign up clients at a rapid rate and you want the highest chance of success, yeah, you're going to have to cold call. Okay. And if it scares the shit out of you, then good. Try door to door. It's even harder. Okay, I've done both for years. As a terrible salesperson and as a great salesperson. I used to walk to the edge of the office literally trembling with fear, like holding my script in hand, making my first cold calls. But I was in thousands and thousands of pounds worth of debt that I needed to get myself out of, okay? And I knew that the only way that I was going to get out of that debt is if I learnt that script and picked up the phone. Treat yourself with that same mentality, okay? How much do you hate your job? How much do you hate what you're doing right now? How much do you actually want to retire parents? How much do you actually want to live financially free, okay? Because if it's enough, you'll pick up the phone and start calling and let that fuel you every single day. Okay, door-to-door is even harder, but so much more effective than everything else that you can do. Cold calls are very, very effective. Door-to-door is even more, okay, because we're going in, and it just makes common sense, right? We are leveraging our physical presence, okay, our smile, the way we look, the way we're dressed, our energy, okay? These are all things that we cannot use when we're hiding behind an email or a DM. Any idiot can sit behind their computer sending DMs all day long. Not many people are prepared to go out there and physically knock down doors that the clients are trying to reach out to, but those are the people that get the fruits. Those are the people that scale their agencies far quicker. Those are the biggest success stories that you hear about online. Okay, so don't be scared to do it. Okay, if it scares the shit out of you, that is why you should do it. Truly. Like, and I know that's an uncommon thing to think about. Like, if it scares me, I should do it. But that is exactly what you need to get used to doing in business. Okay, you're going to do a lot of stuff that scares you. If you're scared of doing door-to-door cold calling, think about how you're going to be when you have your first meeting. Okay, and I want to prepare you for this. I'm always going to tell you what you don't want to hear. Okay, I'm always going to tell you the harsh realities because I'd hate for you to get into this business model and then get into it and be like, shit, this isn't for me because I physically cannot bring myself to this. But if you're watching this video right now, you've already hit that breaking point where you know you need to make a change. But you're going to have to push through some physical barriers. You're going to have to push through some fear and do some shit that makes you uncomfortable in order for you to get to the place that you want to be in life. And trust me, every single thing that you do in the future is going to be more advantageous. Every single thing that you touch is going to be more successful. When you yourself are a success, everything you touch will be successful. Okay, we seek fear every single day because fear is where all the growth is. Okay? I'm getting distracted. I'm so passionate about this stuff, guys. Like, I just want to see you. I want to see you make this work. Okay? Direct message, networking. Okay, these are all different things that you can do. Direct messages on social media, okay, so you can be sending these on like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. Networking is physically going and meeting people. I signed up a number of different clients in the early stages through networking. Actually, one of my first ever clients took me to a networking event. So my first client was a restaurant who I signed up within 2 weeks of deciding I was going to start my agency, and it was just it was a low ticket. It was just under $1,000, I think, for this service. I want to say 750. I've got the contract sitting. In fact, let me just see if I can. I've got the contract sitting in this drawer because I found it the other day. Look, I know I had this. I'm just covering my address up the top here. This is battered old thing. Let me, and look how long this contract is. This is like so unnecessarily long. Like it really didn't need to be like this. So going through the tactics here, I've got organic posting, 1 post per day. Okay. Bring monthly income from 45k to 75k. Advertising, free ads running. And where's the service fee? Cool. 800 per month. There you go. 800 per month, 500 ad spend. This is actually, do not mimic this. I would never recommend you having less ad spend than the service fee because it makes it harder for you to get return on investment. The higher the ad spend, the easier it is to get return on investment. You always want to aim for at least 100% equivalent kind of service fee ad spend. So if you're charging 500 per month on your service fee, you want to charge at least or spend at least 500 a month on ads, okay? But I was a rookie here. This was my first ever client, okay? What was I to do? I was just fumbling forward and learning and failing forward, which many of you guys don't have to do, right? Because you've got people like me that can help you out and actually show you the way when it comes to these things. Oh, I'm so glad I kept those. I'm so glad I have those original contracts. So I acquired that client from cold calls. Let's get back to the point, Jordan. Acquired that client from cold calls. And I called them up and then I went into them. In fact, I actually went door to door, first of all, couldn't get hold of them, then went on cold call. And then when I signed them up, they invited me within the first month to go to a networking event with them in the local city. And when I went to that networking event, they introduced me to another bunch of business owners in the local area. And they introduced me as a client, so I had even more leverage at this point. And then I managed to sign up another client, which was a bespoke handmade jeweler in the local area as well. Okay, and I worked with them for a very long time. So I made thousands off that networking event. And you have to just be prepared to push yourself out there. Okay, you have to be prepared to put yourself outside of the box. Okay, and do the shit that scares you. Anyway, let's get back to the task at hand. Okay, you're going to need a script. So regardless of which of these methods you use, okay, and again, like I think you get the point, don't just use the laziest methods here. Use the ones that do intimidate. Use the ones it's like everything in life, right? The hardest shit is what gets you the most results. Like anything that's hard, like anything that's difficult, or anything that's easy, like, like the food that always tastes like the most scrumptious food is the worst for you, okay? It's not harder to eat all of the really, really healthy shit. It's not really hard to lift heavy weights and get good in the gym, okay? But all the easy shit, sitting on your ass, playing games, like watching porn, like chasing girls, like all of that stuff. All of that stuff is easy. Like so easy. All the hard shit is where you want to be focusing your time on. That's where all the fucking growth is. Okay, so your script. Fundamental part of your script is your offer. This is something that you would have heard thrown around if you've been watching videos. Your offer is quite literally what you are going to offer people when you are reaching out to them. And this is where a lot of people get very stuck, okay? And there's a book called $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. It screwed up this industry for beginners because whilst it is an incredible book for people that have got business experience and conviction in what they sell, and they know exactly what to offer and what they can deliver on, beginners read those kind of things and they start over-promising and under-delivering. And at the moment, we are at a crisis when it comes to offers in the agency space. And there are people over-promising all the time. Do not fall into that trap. You do not need an offer in your early stages. All you need is, your offer doesn't have to be a bold promise, I should say. Okay, I'm going to get you 10 qualified leads, let's say, for a local dentist. Instead, you can just focus on the result of your service, getting more qualified leads. For example, I've got a whole video on this. I can go, let me put a link in the description. You can go and watch that, because if not, this video is going to be hours and hours long, which unfortunately I don't have time for. I'm sure you guys would love, but I've got a team meeting coming up very, very soon. In fact, on that note of not needing an elaborate offer or a guarantee, I'm pretty sure I saw a post in our community this morning of someone signing up their 7th or 8th client and stipulating they did not have no guarantee to sign up those clients. Jez, our editor, if you could throw that up here, we can find that post. Let's see if we can just throw that up for the people so they can see that. I think it's so important to understand this. And very early on when I first started, I didn't have an offer. I didn't have no guarantee. This is something that's very new to the industry, and many people have gained a dependency on an offer. But you do not fundamentally need one in order to sign up clients. You just need to be able to build trust with individuals. Okay, and as long as you're focusing on the end result, okay, whether that's increasing their clients, whether that's growing their business, whether that's getting more bums on seats, and you want to make sure it's relevant to the individual niche, as long as you're focusing on the end result and it's desirable, you don't need no fancy guarantee. Okay. But you do need to make sure that your script is personal, okay? So we're only going to be reaching out to them. And so you can do this in many ways. You can do this in the form of mentioning something you saw on their website, mentioning a blog post, mentioning something you saw on their social media. You want to personalize your outreach to them. The key in sales is to make people feel like they're not just a digit, okay? Even if they are, and you're reaching out to 100 different people that day, okay? You want to make that person feel like they're the only person that you're reaching out to that day, okay? So say something personal to them that you can only say to them that couldn't be copy and pasted to anyone else, okay? And then we're going to ask for a call. So we're going to ask for a call. That is the key to outreach. You don't want to be focusing on trying to sell. You never want to get stuck into selling when you're on the outreach stage. Even if you're door to door with someone and you're physically in front of someone, don't get roped into selling. You're going to be unprepared. You're not going to know what to go through. You're going to fumble it all and you're going to burn that lead. Same for cold calls. Only ask for the call, okay, which is going to be a sales call where we're going to go through the minor details, or all the details really. And I'll run you through the strategy for that. Book a call. The ultimate goal of outreach. How are we going to sign them up? Let's go through sales, yeah? What's the sales script? What's the actual format you're going to follow? Many of you guys will be intimidated by sales if you've never been in sales before. And look, first of all, you shouldn't be, because an agency or the sales process for agencies, it's not pressure sales at all. We're not selling people anything that they don't need. They fundamentally need this in order to grow their businesses. What we're doing is we're just making them realize that they need our solution in order to help them get from point A, which is their undesirable position, to point B, which is where they want to be, right? Their desired position, okay? And we're going to do this by solving problems. Agency sales is a conversational problem-solving exercise. It's just two human beings, one with a solution to another person's problems. Okay, in a way, the business owner has the solution to our problems as well because they got the money that we want, right? And we're going to start off by keeping it nice and casual. And this is going to be a 3-part meeting strategy. We're going to start off with what I call the discovery stage. Okay, and the discovery stage is where we're first going to build rapport. And this can be in the form of just some niceties on the actual meeting itself. So you've just jumped on the call. You might be in the UK, we talk about the weather. You might mention their locality. Also, where are you based at the moment? You might mention something you saw on their website. Just any way to break the ice without having to go straight into business with them. They're going to ask questions. Okay, and these are going to be questions relevant to this business. This is going to be based on their specific situation. We're going to ask them when they're busy and when they're not busy. And we're going to ask them what sells well and what doesn't sell well. We're going to ask them what they've done in their marketing before. In fact, one of the best questions I like to open up is, I know I reached out to you, but what was the reason you accepted this call today? And what that does is it makes them think. It makes them think, well, yeah, this guy Jordan did call me up randomly, but I did say yes to having a meeting with him. So what was that reason? And usually get some very, very good answers. And you're going to practice active listening, which is where we reply, okay, yeah, cool. Tell me more about that. What is that? Okay, well, how long's that been going on? So we practice active listening and show them that we're actually listening to the problems that they're facing. And this is fundamental. This is where most people screw up. This is where most people lack, is they skim past this discovery stage. They spend like 5 minutes here. Whereas this is the opportunity to build all the rapport and trust. This is the opportunity for us to build a strong foundational relationship with the business owner and show them that they can trust us enough to pay us to provide a solution to them. Do not skip over this. Do not skim past this section. Intently listen to them. Most importantly, okay, never skip this. Get their current versus their desired position. Find out how much money they're making right now, and then how much money they should be making if all the problems that they discussed here were solved. Okay, so how much money should you be making? What are your financial targets? And what we're doing here is we're igniting that entrepreneurial spark within them. We're igniting that fire that made them start the business in the first place, making them think, you know what, I'm not where I want to be. I do want to grow this company, and I'm sick of this. Okay, I'm going to grow this. I'm going to make it happen. And if you're providing enough value throughout, they're going to believe you're the person that can help them solve that issue, which you are. Next, we have the presentation stage. Okay, this is where we're going to present the solution to the issues that we've uncovered in that first stage. Okay, and there's kind of 3 parts to this again, so I'll open that up for ease. And the first, we have comparison. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare the business to one of their competitors or multiple competitors, ideally a competitor that's already doing the thing that you're trying to sell them on. So if you're offering a paid ad service, you can go on what's called the Facebook ad library and you can search for other businesses in their niche, and you can find businesses that are running ads in their niche, and you can compare your potential client to those businesses, okay? Because businesses do not like to be compared to others. Okay? Everyone thinks they're the best at what they do, and so the minute you compare them to someone, it's going to ignite that spark. It's going to create that desire for them to be like, you know what? Fuck these guys. If they're running ads, we should be running ads. So we're going to compare them. And this is going to create desire. Okay, we want to make that clear desire for our service and make it known. And then we're going to present our solution. And you can do this in the form of just a screen share and showing them what you're going to do for them without digging into the mechanics too much. You don't want to sell the mechanics and sell the service too much. We want to be focusing on the result. We always really want to be focusing on the result in sales. This could be a quick presentation deck. Okay, this is what we call a pitch deck. But keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate this. Generally speaking, we want to think of this as like our elevator pitch. So imagine you're in an elevator with an individual and you've just bumped into them and they're suitable for your service. What are you going to say to them that small amount of time that you're in the elevator to make them want your service? Okay, think about that. If you've only got 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute max in order to pitch your service, pitch your solution, how are you going to do that? That's what we want to do in the presentation stage. We don't want to be obsessing over details. We want to keep it sweet, keep it concise. And then once we've done that, we've built enough trust and we've created enough desire in the presentation stage, we're going to go for the close. Okay. The first thing we need to do before we even transition into that close, before we get to the point of showing our prices or going through that, is we want to get permission. Okay, we want to gain permission to actually sell. Now, this will happen quite organically. If you're providing a good enough solution, if there's enough desire there, the business owner is going to ask, okay, so how does this work? What are the next steps? If they don't, you can probe them slightly and just be like, okay, do you have any questions on any of this? We want to make sure that you're validating you don't have any questions. No, we don't. Okay, great. Well, should we go through the next steps? Should we go through how we can get started? Yes. Okay, we've got permission to sell. And then when we've got permission, we are going to present price. Okay. Now, the price is going to be different for all of you guys. There is no matrix in coming up with the perfect price. The best price is the highest amount you can get away with signing a client on without them saying no. Okay, but in the early stages, don't prioritize your price. Sign up a client for max $1,000. Some of you will sign up clients for $500. Some of you will sign up a client on a free trial. There's no issue with signing up someone on a free trial. But what I would recommend all of you doing is at least going in with, let's say, $1,000 for your client, depending on the niche, or $500, depending on the niche. Go in with that. This is presuming you're offering a paid ad service. Okay, and if they say no, or if they object you, and you can't handle those objections, you can't get past that stage, you can't get past that no, then at this point you can say, look, let me do something that I've never done with anyone before. Like, I know this will work for you. I'm so confident this will work that I will do this for you for free for a month. And then only after I get you results do you then pay me at the end of that month. And then you stay dead. This is exactly the same when we present our price. If you speak first after you name the price, you are compensating for something. You're trying to cover your tracks, lack of confidence, and the business owner will feel this. So I don't care if you have to sit in silence for a minute. That's not going to happen. But just sit in that silence. Even 5 seconds can feel like a minute sometimes. Let them think. Let them dwell. Do not give them a reason to object you because you have shown a lack of confidence and a lack of conviction. And conviction is ultimately everything in the sales process when you're first starting out. It is something that's going to be difficult. You are going to screw up. Many of you guys will name your price and then you will start talking afterwards, talking some bullshit and then putting the client off. That's going to happen, but you're going to fail forward and you're going to learn. That's okay. But try to just stay silent and deliver your price. And at that point, we're then going to either get a yes, which is great. And if we do get a yes, which is awesome, then we're going to book onboarding. Okay. Onboarding is the call where we bring our clients on for our service. So we'll get access to their ad account. We will let them know how we communicate. We'll get the contract signed before this and take the payment before this. So we'll send the contract at this point and we book in the call too. I can create a video on this if you would like me to, guys. Drop a comment down below and we'll see if we can get that in the schedule. If enough of you let us know. But you're not always going to get a yes. In fact, most of the time you're going to get a no. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You're going to get way more no's than you are going to get yeses. In fact, there are no sales industries in the world where you get more yeses than no's. If they are, then they're blue ocean opportunities. Okay, and so we need to get used to those no's. We need to get used to those objections. We need to understand how to objection handle. And go into objection handling, which is where we get an objection. Okay, and then we turn it into a yes. We get a no and we turn it into a yes. You can do this again and again and again. In fact, there's a saying that the sale doesn't start until the first objection. We want to get objections out straight away. We relish in them. And if you're prepared because you've gone through them again and again, you'll know exactly what to do. And the only way you're really going to get that experience is through repetition of doing it. Although we've got a massive list of like tens and tens of different objection handles inside the academy to help our mentorship students skip that learning curve. You will get there eventually by just going through repetition and doing it yourself. But yeah, if you're a member of the academy, make sure you're using that because it's going to expedite your process. And so many people stumble on objections. So many people hear their first no, and that might just be, I need to speak to my wife. And instead of saying, okay, great, I understand, what do you need to speak to your wife about? They say, oh, well, okay, that's fine, yeah. Well, just let me know then. And then it's done, okay? And then even when they do say, oh, I need to speak to my wife about the price, I say, okay, fine. What is it you need to speak to her about with the price? Is this an affordability issue? Oh, no, it's fine. Like, we can definitely afford it, but I just want to see if she's happy with it. Okay, so let me just understand. Is this a goer for you? Is this something that you want to do? Are you giving this the green light, but you just need to check with her? Yeah, that's correct. I definitely want to do this, Jordan. Okay, great. So what is it that she could say to you that would turn your yes into a no? And then what you're going to get is the real objection. Because 99% of the time when someone says they need to speak to their wife or they need to speak to their partner or their business partner, it's bollocks. They're just too afraid to say no to you themselves. If you give them the opportunity to tell you what their wife is going to say that could make them say no, you're going to get their real objection. Okay? And we do this with every single objection. We handle it, we dig into it, we turn that no into a yes, and we rationalize their irrational fear of this not working for them. And that is the sales strategy. I think one final thing that's really important to understand about this, and I want to reiterate on this as I mentioned at the start, is this is not a pressure sales environment. We are not trying to sell the mechanics of a service. We're not trying to drill Facebook ads down these business owners' throats. We are trying to make it very clear that we are providing a solution to them that they need. We want them, by the time we get to this point in the meeting, for them to be eating out of our hands and desiring the service, for the price to not be a consideration for them. And ultimately, if you are presenting your price and the business owner doesn't like what they hear, it's too much for them, or they don't think it's worth it, it's because you haven't conveyed enough value throughout this meeting. One of our students, Mohammed, put it really well in the academy recently. And he said that the key, and this is when he was signing up, I think his 7th client, he said the key, again, we'll see if we can put it down here for you guys. He said the key is understanding that you should not be selling to clients, but you should be acting like a business advisor to them, as someone that is simply there to help them. And that is exactly what agency sales is. It's you helping people, not selling to people, ever. Okay? If you have to sell, then your service isn't suitable. So that's agency sales. Let's go into service delivery. So, we signed up a client. Now we need to put our money where our mouth is. Now we need to prove that we are who we say we are, right? We need to fill the boots. So let's get into it. So we're going to do this on the premise of paid ads. And I did put out a video recently on this channel. You can go check it out afterwards if you like. Going through how to deliver a paid ad service for your clients. But I'm going to touch on it right now. The basics for you guys, if this is where you're starting. If you're starting in a different niche, or in a different service, then a really great place to learn service would be udemy.com. You can learn lots of services there. But I'm going to presume most of you guys will be offering a paid ad service or a lead generation service. It's the same thing. We're going to be doing this on the main platforms, which are Facebook, Instagram, because Facebook own Instagram, and then also Google as well. Google is a really great place to get leads, whether it's B2B, so business to business, or B2C, which is business to consumer. Google can be a great place to generate high intent leads. I think I always get asked the differences between Facebook, Instagram, and Google. And the best way to look at it is like Instagram and Facebook are basically the same these days. There's really no difference between them. But Google is where you get high intent leads. So you get people that are actively searching for the product or service that you're trying to sell. So let's say you're working with a kitchen and bathroom showroom. If you're offering Facebook and Instagram ads, what you're going to do is you're kind of hoping that you're going to run that ad and you're going to show it to someone at the time that they're like, oh yeah, we really need our kitchen doing. I haven't had the time to look for a local business. I'm going to go to John's Kitchens. I've just seen the ad. They look like they do a good job. Let me fill in that form and give them my details. Okay, so we are actively putting ourselves in front of potential customers. With Google, we are putting ourselves in front of the people that are actively searching for a solution already. So I have found the time to look for a kitchen on Google, kitchen fitters, Norwich, and my ad comes to the top, like hacking myself to the top of the Google search form. Okay, so Google ads are always higher intent leads. They are more expensive leads, broadly speaking, for your clients. Like it can be upwards of like almost twice as expensive as Google. as Facebook and Instagram, but they are going to be higher quality. But in most cases, we're going to be driving traffic through to what is called a lead form. Okay, so this is a form that you click on Facebook or Instagram, and you fill in your details. On Google, we don't have native lead forms, but we will be sending people either through to like the website or a landing page where eventually they will be filling in their details on a form. Okay. And then when we've got those leads that we've generated for our clients, we are then going to be appointment setting, which means we're going to be calling up those leads. And you won't do this for all clients. Not all agencies do this, okay? I think this is important. This is what I believe really is the highest quality of agency services, of lead generation services, is when you then go and you appointment set yourself. So when a lead comes through, apologies for the barking dog. The postman arrives like 5 times a day these days. We've got a spending problem, but hey ho. Worst problem to have. So when the lead comes through, you will be calling up those leads and you'll be booking them in with your client. Let's say it's a dentist, you'll be calling up those leads and saying, cool, let's get you booked in for your Invisalign appointment like this. When are you free for a consultation? And you book them into the dentist's availability. That sounds like an intimidating call. It's literally the easiest call in the world. It's a customer service call. I've got videos on YouTube about it. You just call up to the effect of, hey, is that John? John, I noticed you filled in our Facebook form for Invisalign. Is that right? Yes, it is. Cool. Okay, great. So John, how long have you been looking for Invisalign? Oh, I've been blah, 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 blah. Okay, awesome. Like, are you free on Tuesday to get you booked in? Or when are you available over the next few days to get you booked in? And then just do it. Okay, so a little bit of qualification, then book them in. It's a little bit longer than that, but just to give you a brief idea there. It's a very simple, casual call. If you can speak to your friends on the phone, you can speak to these people on the phone, okay? They've already raised their hand to be interested in the service. But the key is you want to keep on top of them. You want to make sure that you're not allowing them to go cold. You have to reach out to people as quickly as you possibly can. And another way that we're going to be able to do that is through automatic SMS and email flows. Okay? So we can do this, and if you haven't got money in the early stages, but you will have if you've already signed up a client, you want to use a software like Go High Level, and there are others out there, but Go High Level really is the easiest for you to use, for you to set up automatic SMS and email flows. You can do this manually, but if you do it manually in your appointment setting, you're just being tight. If you've signed up a client and you've got a little bit of money, then deliver a good service for them. So yeah, just sign up to a software and use that. You can manually do it, but it's just not going to be as efficient, and the leads are going to go cold. That is the key. You want to hit leads whilst they are warm and through repetition. And let's say you're getting 5 leads a day or even 2 leads a day for your client over the course of a couple of weeks. You're going to struggle to keep on top of all those leads if you're doing it all manually. But ultimately, we're trying to get calls for the client. We're trying to book in appointments. And when we actually have a call with that client, okay, so this is the potential client, the lead, the one that I just did that script for, we're either going to get an answer or we're going to get no answer. Obviously, the flow is going to look something like this. So if you get no answer, you chuck it back around to your automations. If you do get an answer, then great. You're then going to see, well, you're going to ask yourself, are they qualified or unqualified? So you're going to ask them a couple of questions. Like I said, like how long you've been looking for this. Is this something you want to do now or in the future? You could even go into budget with some of them. They're either going to be qualified or unqualified. If they're unqualified, then the client might have some organic socials. So you could send them through to some organic content. So that could work. You could also send them through to an email list if you want to. But if they're qualified, which is great, then we're going to set an appointment for the client. So this might be for their Invisalign service or whatever that is. And then when we get appointments, we're going to get a happy client. And that's it. That's how we deliver a service. Obviously not in its entirety. There are a few other moving parts when it comes to delivering a service, but this is a basic lead generation funnel. Go watch the SMMA service delivery video where I go in this in a little bit more detail. And of course, if you're inside of our academy, we have all templates for ads and existing flows and automations that you can use and so on, which are already created for you that have been proven over millions of spend. So yeah, make sure you go check that out. Now, if you're just starting out and you haven't yet hit 10K a month yet, these really are the only 5 key areas that you need to be focusing your time into. Don't get distracted by anything else that only applies to existing agency owners right now. Just think about your service, your lead gen strategy, your outreach, your sales, and of course, your service delivery as well, okay? Now, I promise you guys to give you access to this for free, so I'm gonna put a link in the description. You can sign up to my email newsletter. You'll receive this in the first email that I send you. You can go and study this alone, and you follow this process and all of these paths, and you will be able to build a successful agency over time. But for those of you that want to go the extra mile, those of you that want support and you want to have access to existing successful agency owners who can guide you through this process and take the guesswork away from you, I want to make a unique offer to you guys today that I've not made on this YouTube channel before. And this is only going to be for those of you that watch this video with a unique link in this description. Because you've committed, just under an hour to watching this video, you're clearly very serious about this. I want to reward you for that. And so what I'm going to do, and this is not what we do for ordinary people at all, I'm going to, on your behalf, both myself and my senior team, we're going to pick your service for you. Okay, so we're going to build your agency alongside you. We're going to pick your service for you based on your individual circumstances and your unfair advantages and your past. We're going to pick the best lead generation strategy for you based on your local area and your budget. We are then going to build your outreach strategy, okay? So each platform that you're going to be reaching out to, and we're going to write bespoke outreach scripts for your specific agency. We are then going to help you sign up clients by giving you the perfect meeting strategy with all the objection handles that you need, and we will listen to your first few sales calls and give you feedback on those sales calls. So real people that have built real agencies listening to your sales calls, giving you feedback on them so you know how you can improve. This is invaluable. This is how I was so successful in sales early on. Having call reviews is invaluable. Someone that is qualified and already knows how to close people, giving you specific feedback on them. And then finally, we're going to coach you through the process of delivering an exceptional service. Okay, so we're going to help you deliver results for your first clients through group coaching and one-to-one coaching as well. And we're going to outline all of the latest strategies that are working as far as paid ads are concerned, all of the automation flows and funnels that are proven to work through millions of spend, you'll be able to plug in straight to your ad account. So you will be able to expedite your process exponentially. If you click the link in the description, book a call with my team. This is going to be very limited. We're not going to be able to do this with many people because this done for you element takes an awful lot of time. So by the time some of you look at this, you might click on the link and it might no longer be available. If that does happen to you, then apologies, it just is what it is. We can only do that for a limited number, and we can only accept people who we genuinely believe are going to be successful with this. So if you don't have budget, or we don't think for whatever reason based on your application this is going to work, then we will not accept you. And again, just come back, watch the content, continue looking at the YouTube channel and apply these things yourself. Don't hesitate to apply again in the future, and we will always revisit your application. I hope this has been valuable for you guys. Let me know, drop a comment down below. And those of you that are taking the extra step, look forward to seeing you in the academy and speaking to you with the team. And for the rest of you, I'm going to be uploading another video in a couple of days' time, which is going to be running through how you can scale an agency to 10K a month, taking this framework in the shortest time possible. In fact, I bet that you would scale an agency at least 3 times faster following what I'm going to go through in the video in a couple of days' time. So make sure you look out for that. It's going to be on my second channel, Jordan Platten Extra. So go subscribe to that and turn your notifications on so you get notified when that video comes out. And I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers.